A local family remains without answers following the death of Everardo Cheno, also known to those closest to him, Gordo.
Him being gone is just it's like a hole in my heart. It's hard being without him because he was my best friend. Like, I have friends, but he was my main friend. I talked to him about everything.
Cheno was shot on December 10th, 2020 after hearing a knock on the door followed by the firing of a gun. 2 bullets made their way through the door, killing Cheno while his son was in the living room and daughters were sleeping upstairs. The kids proceeded to make their way down to the doorway, finding their father dead on the floor. Cheno was the father to 3 daughters and a son, and fiancé to Rosa Delgado, who spoke with me earlier today. Delgado says that her family is still hurt and in shock, but also paranoid that the person behind Everardo's death may return to their home.
It's scary to know that somebody came to your house and knocked on the door and fired shots through the door. What if it wouldn't have been him who was going to the door? He didn't even open the door. It's scary because we don't even know who or why they did this. So like, you don't ever know. Like, it's just always that feeling of like, why and could it happen again? And my kids don't like going to the door. They hear somebody knock, we have to check on the camera. We have to check before we go to the door.
Rosa says that her fiancé and kid's father was a kind, outgoing person who loved his family and didn't have any enemies.
Enemies? He really didn't have any enemies because all he did was work. He worked for like a company that does work for the railroad. So a lot of times he would leave out of town for 2-3 days at a time.
Delgado adds that all her family wants is closure, which to them would be the apprehension of the individual responsible for Cheno's death.
I've been trying to keep in contact with the detective, and they don't really say much. They don't have nothing. There's nothing that they tell me that they have like any hint, any like clues or anything. And I understand, like they can't tell me like, well, we know this and we know that. But what they told me, was like, we just gotta wait and I guess let the streets talk. But I mean, how long? How long is this gonna be,
If you have any information that could be of assistance to police, you can call TPD's Crime Stopper Unit at 419-255-1111. Reporting in Toledo, I'm Jaden Jefferson.